Welcome, guys, back to One Unit. We have our special guest here, Dustin Williams, who is the head brand development of Viola. Welcome.
What's up, man?
What up?
How you been?
Good, man.
Good.
Can't complain.
So, if you're
I think too. I also want to just mention that even with that name, he even mentioned it's much more than that role that he plays. So I guess let us know what that is.
Head of brand development is definitely on my my business card. I come from the cannabis space, so I'm blessed to be a part of a great brand called Viola, which started back in 2011 in Colorado. It was founded by ex-NBA superstar Al Harrington. So I met Al back in like 2000, I want to say 16, at the end of 2016. We were both lobbying for licensing in the city of LA. I was going after licenses with my partner, and he was coming and exploring the state of California and getting into this market. So we it went for about a year lobbying, and then next thing you know, we just decided to do some things together, and they gave me the ability to launch California for them, and now we're here. So started with sales, product sourcing, brand development, marketing. We kind of did it all. It was just Al, our president, Samir, and then myself, and then my partner Django. And now California is off the ground. We have a full team now, full sales team in SoCal and NorCal.
Yeah, you guys are moving
Nice.
quick.
Shout out to Django, right?
Yeah,
Shout out to Django.
What's going on, boy?
Shout out
he's
Django.
You can't forget him, you know.
No, I can't.
I remember that guy very well.
We're a two-headed dragon, man.
For
I
sure.
can't do anything without that guy. So yeah, I mean, I feel like in any small business, I mean, you guys probably can agree to this, is that you guys wear multiple hats.
Yeah.
You know, you don't just play one role.
Yeah.
Definitely. I think at that point you have to.
I have
you have to.
I have like 12 characters.
See, I literally feel like I just be putting up with that all the time.
Who do you want today? Let me know.
But it's good. I mean, I feel like being able to have those like multiple skill sets,
Yeah.
it brings more value.
Yep.
Yeah.
Than just saying, hey, I do this one thing, and when companies can work as lean as possible and people can wear multiple hats, I think there's where, more success comes. And it's easier to scale. It might be a little slower, but you can scale faster with less people, less overhead. So, I just.
So prior to that, though, from what we know, you
Yep.
used to actually ball. You
bit.
play a little
You play a little
basketball.
something.
Play a little something.
He's like little
okay.
something.
No, you can ball, man.
Right.
Let him know.
Tell us something about that.
That was my passion.
Yeah.
I grew up. Only athlete in the family. Everyone always asks me, like, how did you start playing basketball? And like, did your mom, did your parents play? So I grew up in a single parent home. My mom, not athletic at all. I don't know.
I'm athletic. I'm pretty good. Yeah.
All right.
Definitely
You know what I'm
not.
saying? I can do a little something.
You can do a little something.
I'm lying.
We have to play a little horse.
No. Yeah.
He's like, no, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that.
That's all
But
good.
it just came. It came like 4 years old. I can remember. That's the only thing I wanted to do. And then from like 4 years old and on, I played ball. Kids these days don't go outside and play, but like anytime I had a spare minute, I was outside. Or I was
You were playing.
Yeah.
It was
You found
raining. I
love.
was in the garage
No, you found
dribbling the
love.
ball. Whatever it was. Got to high school. Was a little harder because I was only like 4'5".
Nice. He was tall.
4'6".
Nice.
Like super tall. Freshman year. Like 4'6", like 70 pounds, 80 pounds, something like that. So I barely made the freshman team. I basically begged the coach, like, yo, just like put me on the team.
Put me on the bench at least.
At least. So that was kind of where I was like, I've always been the underdog. I've always been like the super tiny kid on the team who was just fast and quick and stuff. I always earned my minutes. I always earned everything I had there. So, and I attest to my mom, like, just credit to her, she never babied me in the process. Like, that's one thing I think parents, fuck up with their kids, is like they don't allow them to fail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They literally hold their hand all the way up,
Yep.
Yeah.
blame the coaches for certain things, and
Right.
don't allow the kid just to go through some adversity. So I really give my mom the credit, really, just for
Shout out to Mom. I met her.
Yeah, man,
Yeah.
mom's dope. So
She's a real one.
basketball really, it really took off in high school where I started growing, and one thing led to another. I went from freshman to a starter on JV, got the MVP of the JV team.
Nice.
Everyone's always like scared to say, "Oh, I played junior varsity," and
Yeah.
it's like pride of ego.
Like, you're like, yo, I was starting,
like,
baby. That's on me.
I
Like
went
most
from freshman to varsity.
Most basketball
you're
players
right,
like, "Oh,
you're
I
right.
played 4 years of varsity.
Yeah.
Or I played 3 years."
You take
of varsity.
credibility in that.
I'm like, yo, I played JV
All day.
and
All
I killed
day
it.
starter.
And I
Climbed up there.
I
I climbed up there.
But I had good coaches and I had people who believed in me, and I was just a gym rat.
Yeah.
Every kid that played ahead of me never was in the gym. It was always just me and maybe a couple other kids. But I was told if you want to get something, you got to work for it.
Yep.
You know? And again, back to childhood, it was just very plain and simple. I watched my mom work 3 jobs at a time. Never really babied me in certain cases, and I cried when I failed and all that. And
I feel you, bro. I used
to
to cry when we won.
Right. Oh, you just cried.
Yeah, like, I was so like passionate. I'm like, oh man, we did it. Like, but like it was common.
But that's from like the heart.
Yeah, definitely. That's how I feel you, because when I'm
mean-
telling you, bro. So they're laughing at me because I'd really be in there, and I got the most points or whatever the case is. And we win, the fucking thing rings, and then I'm like, "Daddy, why you crying?" I'm like, "Man, shut up, we won. We got next one."
I mean, let's not forget the fact that he was a little crybaby growing up.
Oh,
It's all good.
there we go.
That's irrelevant.
It's all good.
I mean,
Now
the
you
photographer supposedly
Now you grown.
would get pictures. Yeah, hell yeah, ain't seen me crying for a day. You know what I mean?
I ain't gonna cry now.
But
Little
you also played professional overseas, right?
Yeah. So like I went from college, got no scholarships out of high school, which was crazy. I thought I was for sure gonna sign somewhere. Then my mom was like, "Look, you can go to college, or you can go get a job at McDonald's." And I was like, "Well, shit, I'm gonna go to college." She's like, "Yeah, but I ain't got no money for you." So I was basically just put out there to find a way to get a scholarship. Finally got that. Played a couple years in Oklahoma. Shout out to my Oklahoma family.
What's up?
And then I went from there and transferred to Abilene Christian University on another full ride, and finished there. And I went through some adversity there. Had a couple surgeries. Back-to-back seasons, right when I thought I was getting ready to take off and really have a good career. And then God blessed me with the opportunity to go overseas. And I that was really my goal, was to get to college. I didn't know what was going to happen after that. But then I got the opportunity to go play pro. And it was either stay senior year or just take off and go make some money. And I had so many surgeries, and I had talked to my coaches, talked to the doctors, talked to the trainers, and they're like, "Look, you can stay, and we don't know if you'll be healthy. I mean, you're healthy now, but for the last 2 years you've gotten hurt, or you can just go live your dream." So I left. I decided to leave. I left a semester early my senior year, and I went to Lithuania.
Nice.
Eastern Europe.
Before we get there, I think what people want to know is like you already had a set life. I mean, you were playing pro.
Yep.
You worked so hard to get where you were at, and you were reaching your dream, right? And the question I have is that, and I think a lot of people, and this is part of our show that a lot of people want to know, is the business mind.
Yeah.
So what made you at that point while you playing, besides your struggles and hurdles and as
everyday adversity.
as an
What was
athlete.
that, like that transition like?
Yeah,
Like,
what was you
made
thinking? What were your,
what
after
made
you were
think, like,
playing and you
cannabis?
had you had your life set, right? And then it's just what did you think about? Okay, I need to do something besides completely different than what I'm doing, but more. What made you?
I mean, the business aspect of basketball, to me, it was not in my favor. Being out there, it was so cutthroat. I mean, like, they didn't care about the development. It was like, I mean, they would threaten you if you didn't have this stat line, they're going to send you home, or they're going to cut your salary, or you're not going to get your salary. It was so cutthroat where, like, the time you put into it, you weren't getting that back.
Turn back.
So I started, like, I mean, I've always been a hustler, so I was like, while I'm out there, let me come up with another hustle. I couldn't come up with anything. I mean, all my time was spent with the organization that no one spoke English.
Eastern Europe.
I'm in Eastern Europe. No one speaks English.
Yeah.
I mean, it was snowing every day. I couldn't make moves in the street. Like, I had a car, but I couldn't drive it because it was full of snow. I mean, it was weird because it had me, like, just sitting down all the time, and I literally went through a depression because I didn't know whether it was gonna get better and keep putting all this time into, or do I, like, try to find a transition.
And at the same time, you're getting older every day.
I'm getting older. I was an older player. I had all these surgeries, and it kind of held me back. And so I wasn't a rookie until I was 25. So I'm thinking, okay, well, my goal is to play 10 years. and then I'll invest in some businesses and stuff like that. And my first year, it just didn't go what I imagined. And so it wasn't really until that summer I didn't have I didn't even think of a transition. The transition kind of just came to me.
Just fell in your laps.
You know, and I had to. That's a blessing.
Yeah, of course.
I came home just happy to come back. I was training. I had my own little sports academy. I did summer basketball camps at the high school still. And then me and my brother had a t-shirt company called Euro America. And that was it. That's all I had. I was living at my mama's house. Yeah. Didn't think twice. And then all my boys were already like doing dispensaries. Right. And so the first thing I do is come back, you know, go smoke with the homies, go party with the homies, and they're like, "Yo, come see my dispensary and shit." I go see this shit. I'm like, I'm trying to work.
See, that's where I wanted to get because I kind of know a little bit of what me and Eddie talked about. You know how you started. So that's I think people need to know that.
May 2010, I get home, and that's the first thing I see. You know, is a dispensary, and I'm from California. I mean, we were around weed my whole life, but I never seen it in a retail sense,
like a store,
like a store. You know
like on countertops.
It's crazy. I mean, we were buying dime sacks in like, you know, alleyways and at grocery stores.
And at this time, it was still black market.
It was completely black market. Yeah. So I was very interested because I was a consumer. You know, I've been smoking since I was like 17. You know, I say responsibly. I didn't smoke every day. Right. And the first time I saw a dispensary was like, damn, this is crazy. Like from a business aspect, I studied business in college. I was a business major, and I just immediately just started dollar signs. You know, at that point, I didn't think.
That's funny because I see that all the time. I always see dollar signs. Like I don't see nothing else.
They count sheep. I count dollar signs.
Yeah. So Dustin, thank you. I thought I was crazy, but I'm good.
We're all crazy.
We're all good.
Okay. Good.
We're all good.
So that's where it started, and it really was, you know, how to make a spare dollar so I don't have to spend money that I made overseas. But my goal was still basketball. Right. You know, I just wanted something to keep me surviving while I was home.
So when you came back, still you were trying to make something more basketball.
It was all basketball. I just wanted to make some spare change so I could, you know, when we live in California, if you don't got a spare dollar, you can't do anything.
Yep.
Yeah, especially in LA.
You can't go out with the homies. Can't go to Playhouse.
Yeah.
You know what's so funny that you say that? Because
can't go to special places. You know.
No.
Yeah.
Special places are very expensive. No, but it's funny that you say that because I saw this meme.
Fun coupons.
He said fun coupons.
I love fun coupons.
Hello. All right.
He's a little experienced. It's funny that you say that because now I actually saw this meme that it says it costs, because, you know, outside is what people call nowadays, if you don't know. Right. No, outside is like going out to the club is called I'm outside. I'm outside. Right? So now I seen this thing where it costs $100 just to be outside. It does. It really does,
hey,
though.
I learned two things today. Tap in, outside.
Tap in, outside.
You know what? I'll be outside.
Tap in with me.
Hey, there you go.
There you go.
Tap in with me.
All right.
But yeah, I mean, like that was what it was, and it turned into more every summer. So nice. It was like, all right, cool, let's go, let's train, let's get back overseas. And then come back the next summer, and they're even deeper. You know, I got homies buying new cars. You know, Porsche Panameras. You know, living on the coast, buying new cribs.
Beach houses.
I mean, just doing the most.
Yeah.
We're going every time I come back. We're going to a Vegas trip. They're spending 50 G's.
Man,
you know, like doing outrageous shit that, you know, only people that could do it would be like entertainers.
Oh, for sure.
You know, music artists or athletes and stuff. You know, and we're just nobodies. And living that lifestyle, and I was just living it with them, you know. Then it was like, how do I obtain it myself? Yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah. So like I said, one thing led to another. The next summer came in. I started at $8 an hour. Okay,
that's
working for the homies.
That's the story. That's the story.
Yeah. Working at $8 an hour. I asked, like, how many hours could I have? They said you can have as many as they think you're good enough to take on for a schedule. So mind you, the first store was in Riverside. Trap house, like straight up. It was just like an old
This is
school.
what, 2010?
2010.
Yeah, it's trap.
It was trap. Like straight deli style.
And I think we should say that you were a professional basketball player.
Yep.
And you took the job as $8 an hour at
Playing
that time.
overseas.
But you seen something.
Yeah.
So
I mean, completely humble. I didn't go into the situation
that's the
thinking
word.
I was better than anybody, or thinking because it was my boy's shop that, like, you know. I gotta, you know, I'm better than somebody.
I think you're just more open-minded to being realistic of where your career was already heading,
where you're at in your
and where
life,
you're at
for
now
sure.
of having that like hungry mentality of, listen, it's going to be $8 an hour now, but I have a bigger vision, and you're willing to learn and open up, versus someone else coming in and saying, I'm comfortable with that $8 an hour.
100%.
You know what I mean?
Or that normal person that says, "Oh, you're my friend. Why?"
Right. I could have complained.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, like, yo, I need a better position or something.
Right.
But you went in there like, yo,
I
I just
didn't
need
have
to
any
work.
experience.
Yeah.
I was like, yo,
work.
let me work. They're like, okay, you got to do 100 volunteer hours.
Wow.
I was like, without getting paid? They're like, yeah.
Wow.
I bet. He said, I bet. Give
Bet.
me. Yep.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
You know, so I did like 5-6 hours a day until they were done, like Monday through Friday, and then I would go back and do the rest of my training. I trained kids every afternoon, so I only did 8 to 4.
Right.
That's all. I was like, yo, that's the only hours I can do. I do no weekends. Weekends to me, and that's what I did. And I did that for one whole summer, and then the next summer it got to $9 an hour, and I was working in like 3 different dispensaries
In 1 year.
in one summer.
Summer.
Before I left back over. And I didn't go back over in my 3rd year until December. So I worked from the summertime all the way to almost Christmas, in the dispensaries, and then still training. And it was crazy. I would go to the dispensary, and then shout out to my trainer back then, Charlie Torres. He was training Klay Thompson, Caden Reinhardt, who's overseas, Stanley Johnson, who's in the NBA playing for Toronto. And I would go literally from the dispensary to the workout, working out with straight, beasts. And I would hold my own, and they're like, "Yo, who's this kid?" And I was like, "Yo, I'm a bud tender down the street."
$9 an hour.
$9 an hour.
Yeah.
Coming to bust your ass, and So it was just humbling, man. Like, I've always been just open for opportunity.
Right.
Yeah.
And
it wasn't until the 3rd summer where like I was making no money overseas. It was a struggle. I'm getting older, and I just started speaking up. Like, I really became good at bud tending, and they gave me keys to be like a opener in the morning,
man.
And then I just started
just to read back, how old are you at this point?
So it's 2012. Damn, I'm 33 right now. I'm trying to go back 8 years. So I'm like 26.
Yeah, putting in time at 26.
Yeah.
A lot of time at 26.
And
paying dues.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all it is.
Yeah.
It was
Paying
to me, I
dues.
consider it like basketball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if you want to get more playing time, you
Harder.
gotta put repetitions up.
Yeah.
You want to make more shots, you gotta put repetitions up.
Yeah.
And I was a team player. I think that like basketball really translated to
That's funny, because on one of our episodes we actually talk about that, because we come from we played sports too, we always say we always have like a sports mentality when it comes to business, because
I think it's the best
the same.
mentality to have.
Yeah.
I think it is.
Too, we agree.
Because you can take criticism. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
if you're coachable, you can take criticism.
Right.
You can know how to work with people. You know what I mean? You know how to uplift people in that sense. So I think putting me in those places, really uplifted the people that were there, because I'm easy to get along with. Like I said, I always just start from the ground up and never put myself above anybody. So that 3rd summer was what broke open for me. I literally told my boys, I was like, look, you guys got a bunch of potheads working for you, a bunch of stoners who don't know shit about, scaling a business. Just give me a chance. You know what I mean? Like, literally give me a chance.
These are your friends.
These are my friends at the time.
yeah.
Not friends anymore.
Okay.
That's a long story. But yeah, I literally spoke just like that. It was like, I can do this better, and I can literally bring you more money your bottom line if you just let me manage.
Yep.
So I ended up taking over the whole shit. We went from like 4 stores to like 30.
Wow.
I didn't get that contract to go back over. I did a little stint in Mexico, trying to get a contract in Mexico. This is while working, and they literally put the ball in my hands. So I ended up overseeing the whole operation.
Nice.
And that's when the shit started to take off for me.
Nice.
You know what I mean?
And this is we're talking about 3 years, almost 3 summers, right?
3
3
summers.
Volunteer work.
3 volunteer
To
work.
me, it's volunteer work.
$8 an hour, $9 an hour, and then you finally say,
90 hours a week.
I think that's part of our show, is to show successful people like yourself, entrepreneurs, but a lot of people don't understand what it takes to get where you are. They see you today, I see you, I admire you because, you're young and you're successful, but nobody understands the whole thing behind it. So
The
we
hardest thing
want
is
to bring that up.
We live in a life of social media, right?
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah,
But like,
yeah.
I think all of us.
We do. It's _been on top.
He's always shouting himself out.
I'm
Always
just saying.
shouting himself out.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, tap in.
Brandon.
There
Tap
it is.
in.
Meet me
Tap in.
outside.
Meet me outside for real. Yeah, no.
You
Oh
know.
man, he's gonna be talking reckless this whole week.
Hey.
I'm like, that was all Dustin. What'd you say?
Third. I think social media is definitely given a lot of people the wrong outlook on what entrepreneurship really is.
We try
I
to
honestly
fix
don't
that.
even like calling myself an entrepreneur. I still say
I
hustler.
feel that. No, I feel that because
know?
I think, and now we just talked about this. Nowadays, everybody knows what they have to do.
Yeah.
Everybody knows what it takes. Everybody
Yep.
knows the hard work you have to put in, but no one ever does it.
No.
So it's getting kind of aggravating, at
To
least
me,
keep on seeing the same shit, and
Yeah.
people just
Yeah.
talking. It's like,
Yeah.
yo, nobody's doing nothing.
To me, the
bro.
person who doesn't want to go get a job just says they're an entrepreneur.
Yeah,
know?
they're starting their entrepreneur
Like,
life.
just grinding my entrepreneur. But they just don't want to
That's
get.
true.
They just don't want
That's
to get
very
a job.
true.
No,
That's
I feel
very
it.
true.
I feel it.
And social media, I mean, like, there's a lot of people that, like, I mean, what I love about you guys is what you guys put on social media. You guys live that life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's all perception, but you can either perceive real life
Yeah.
or you can fake it till you make it, and people are gonna believe that. You know,
Yeah,
but as soon as
they
someone
will.
calls you out on
Yeah.
that, and
No,
No,
a
for
facade.
sure, but
I feel like a facade can only go so
Only
far.
goes so
Oh
far.
yeah,
it's
but
only gonna
especially
go
when
so
you
far.
go lay down by yourself and you realize all that shit that you posted, you have nothing in it,
Right.
and haven't put in one work,
Or it's
and
your
then
friends.
and then going back to saying everybody that doesn't want a job calls themselves an entrepreneur. Those are the guys that don't want to put in that time that you put in the beginning.
But even I go back to the same thing, right? Because even those guys, they're gonna be watching. They're gonna understand how it takes to get there, like your story, right?
right.
And maybe we could help them stop posting bullshit.
Hey, bullshit, man.
You know what I'm saying?
I
That is
literally-
not your car, motherfucker. You were at the dealership. don't do shit like
You
that.
know?
I'm
Like,
just saying.
don't
All
do it.
love. Tap in. I'm outside.
Tap in.
You know what I'm saying? _been on top. Let's go.
And I preach it all the time to, like, you know, to my baby moms, to the people I'm close.
Shout out baby moms.
Baby
Shout out
mama.
baby moms.
Those ain't moms.
Yeah,
Mom.
You
Baby
know what I mean?
mama.
hey, baby mama, man. But we talk about it in our close circle is like we can't allow like this age of social media to pass us by. We still have to use it as a tool.
Oh,
Of course.
absolutely.
Because if you
course.
just push it away and act like, oh well,
You stay
it's
behind.
for cloud or it's for this or
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
you're just gonna get left behind.
Of course.
I think if you have a business, I think you should utilize social media to the fullest
I
extent.
couldn't agree more.
To the fullest extent, because you're attracting an audience. And again, you have to be very particular about what you're posting.
Yeah,
like
agreed.
even for me, being a female in the real estate industry, they know this. Like I am very particular about things I post.
Yep.
It's a
And-
little different for women,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's very different. And it's
how you want to be portrayed.
right. And if you want
Yeah.
to be taken seriously, especially
Exactly.
being young and then in LA, being a realtor and all these things, it's like you have to be very careful about what image you're portraying. Because at the end of the day, whether we like it or not, social media is part.
It is.
It's part of our. It's
You
part
can't
of our.
ignore it.
You can't ignore it. In the beginning, it was kind of like, oh,
Right.
it doesn't matter. But
No,
now
it's here
it's
to
such a
stay.
huge part that you can't just be like, oh, that's just what she posts on social
Right.
media. It's like, no, that's.
Yeah.
I mean, you are your own brand.
Exactly. And I feel like
Exactly.
if you own a business, regardless of what you're doing as that business, really utilize that. And I think now
100%.
the way social media is going, it's actually leaning towards even like the algorithms and all that stuff.
It
It's leaning
is.
towards business savvy people, not
is.
savvy people, but
No, I know. Yeah,
you know what I mean?
you're
Like
saying.
business companies and things
Yeah.
like that, because you know, you can even attract a certain audience for your work. You can
Yeah.
even have certain people
You
look
can
that are
handpick-
interested.
You can handpick your
You can
audience.
Yeah, you
handpick
can
and be
literally
very strategic
handpick.
on who
Yeah.
you're trying to reach.
Yeah.
I agree.
So you play ball.
Yeah.
You were a professional ball player. Then you decided to start, putting in work, basically. Very successful after that. It took off. I mean,
Took
2018, it was the day that they legalized, I think.
Yeah, so like
18,
and we had that first medical regulation in '96, but it was very loose and I would call it gray.
Okay.
But yeah, we went recreational and put a whole new regulation in 2018,
Nice.
and that's when I saw it coming. I saw it coming in like 2016. We saw Santa Ana go legal, completely legal. In SoCal in 2015.
Nice.
They kind of took the stand. We saw that happening, and I knew it was going to happen throughout the whole state. So my partner and I, Django again, started a consulting company. You know, at that point he was in the cannabis space and real estate.
Nice.
You know, still has real estate license. You know, was heavily in the commercial space. So we really used him as like the anchor to get us more legitimate. You know what I mean? Token white boy. I'm sorry, bro. I love you. But that did help us.
Yeah.
Because the first and only people that really wanted to get into the space were real estate. Real estate that were people are investors that are in real estate, people already in real estate. I mean, that was your first connection. I mean, that was the only people that even mattered outside of us.
Yeah.
You had to have a real estate connection. If you're trying to find a new location for business, or you're trying to find a grow location, whatever that was, you know, and a lot of those people were well versed into the city and what it took to get, you know, licensing and all that. So we knew that was what that was, and so we really took advantage of him being in the space and building a consulting, you know, firm for ourselves, just to show people that we were serious. Because I mean, if I show up like this, I mean, most investors ain't gonna take me serious.
And that's just being
point.
serious. It's not even a joke.
Completely.
It's sad, but true.
That's how it works.
So we understood how to finesse, and in the end, it helped us. So we went into lobbying, and that's where we knew we needed to transition, or we would lose what we had been fighting for. You know, so I'm glad that we took that angle. Transitioning hasn't been easy because it's a whole different, you know, amount of money that comes in. So
level
and shit.
Yep.
So, but we took pride in transitioning. You know, we wanted to do this for a long term. We didn't want to do this short term and just be known as guys just flipping shit in the streets and shit like that. That didn't get us nowhere. You know, so we really wanted to create a legacy after putting so much time into it. You know, we didn't want to get left behind in it.
Right.
So that's where we're at now. You know what I mean? And it hasn't been easy. Like, everyone thinks you just make millions of dollars. Yeah. You know, we probably lost more money than we made going after this transition.
It worked. I think
I know
every
for
business.
a fact it's not probably. We lost more money than we made.
Yeah.
But it was worth it. You know, it was so worth it. Like, it wasn't a passion of mine. I didn't get into cannabis and be like, oh shit, like I'm so passionate about weed, and you know, no, it was an opportunity. I was good at something.
No, just say the truth. The dollar signs.
It was a dollar sign.
You're just trying to make a dollar at that point.
I mean, okay, so now you're successful. It looks like everything patterned out perfectly
Still
for
working
you.
at it, yeah.
And now you're a dad.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, how's that like?
Congrats, man.
Now you
You
got
said
your
baby
girl.
mama, you have a baby boy.
Yep. Life's good.
It's
man.
blessing, right?
Yeah.
Everything.
Future voice.
How's that like? How's that now doing everything that you're doing, but also
Being busy
a
as
dad?
you are.
Yeah,
Huge transition.
Yeah, how was that?
But I have, you know, shout out to her. You know, Christine's an entrepreneur herself. You know,
Oh, nice.
She's a
Dope
stylist,
Shout
right?
out
stylist.
Christine.
She's a
Yeah.
dope ass
Stylist,
stylist.
You're gonna be in the next show.
creative director.
Yeah, nice.
Super creative.
Nice.
Like creative. I mean, I've never really, you know, had a relationship with somebody who's like creative like that, and it's just always on the go, thinking like the next thing. So, I think we make a good team, and she understands like the sacrifice.
Yeah.
You know,
Nice.
she comes from like a family like you guys, super
Yeah.
tight knit. You know, entrepreneur family. You know, built nothing. You know, something from nothing. So she definitely understands like the sacrifice,
knows what it
Yeah.
takes.
the drive,
Yeah.
the time. You know what I mean? Like I haven't had to sacrifice me while going through this phase. You know?
Wow.
Yeah.
Even through the pregnancy, I was like,
That's
yo,
a big blessing.
It is a blessing.
Yeah,
and like
that's a blessing.
I can't do nothing but just give her credit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I do travel. I mean, through the whole pregnancy, I was probably gone like every 2 weeks.
Wow.
You know, for work.
On a private jet.
No, man.
I don't know. No, I've seen some pictures, man.
No
Come on.
private jet.
Oh,
yeah,
no,
man.
Not yet. That's
Not
key
yet.
word.
Not
Not yet.
yet, man.
Not yet.
Yeah, we've been on a couple for like, you know,
Oh, okay.
just for like fun times.
Something like.
Oh, it wasn't business?
No.
Oh, we're not invited. We're not invited. All right, cool. All right,
But
sorry.
man, like I said, it's really, I give her all the credit, dude. Like, to be able to come home and go and do what I need to do, and she just hold down the home.
That's
and,
straight
Yeah.
up
you know,
ride or
and
die, bro. That's
She
that's
got.
what it is.
I mean, they got hormones at that point.
Yep.
You know what I mean? She could have just been.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It could
yeah.
have went a whole different
He's
direction.
over there
Yeah,
saying
for
like,
sure.
yeah, I have 5.
It's like, I know.
But it's
No,
good, man. It's been good.
it's hard to find somebody that either
Understands.
understands you in a sense,
Yeah.
or just like you said, women have needs sometimes. I mean,
Yeah.
I travel a lot.
Yeah.
You know, when my kids were small, and I'm blessed to be married for 28 years. My wife, you know, and but it's a blessing to find somebody that understands your vision, and understands why you're doing it. You
believes
know what I'm
in
saying?
you, and then also too, you guys have now. She's pregnant, so she has a family. So it's kind of like she understands
exactly.
She understands the reason, the purpose as to why you're doing all these things.
And we didn't plan the baby. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I was gonna ask that. Unexpected.
Unexpected baby. But it couldn't have been like a perfect time of where we were both at, like mentally, spiritually.
Yeah, definitely.
Wow.
Mindset
You know,
where you're at.
Yeah.
mindset.
Well,
like,
I think that's a little better. Unexpected, and it was just perfect. And
But still
it
was like, all right, let's
accept it.
yeah,
Alright.
like,
Bye,
I
parents.
ain't gonna lie. Like the day she told me, it was like such a calm feeling.
Wow.
You know,
That's
like,
beautiful.
Wow.
I think if this would have
That's
happened
dope,
to
man.
me,
Yeah, that's beautiful.
anytime last 5 years or last 6, whatever it was, I would have really kind of took it different. You know, I don't think mentally I was all there. I wasn't in the correct headspace.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
You know, I went through like a crazy year of like self growth.
Mm-hmm.
I moved up north for Viola to launch us into the NorCal market,
Mm-hmm.
and I was isolated by myself, and I really just spent a lot of time just going through life myself. You know,
Yeah.
really like looking at myself in the
Learning.
mirror.
Wow.
You learn.
You know?
Wow.
And I think that kind of came at the perfect time, because when she came into my life, we were just friends on long distance.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I had never really started a relationship with somebody from like a communication standpoint. You know, most people just jump in physically.
Right.
Right.
You know what I mean? And for the first time ever, I didn't do that. You know, we didn't do it. So it was a whole different approach to a relationship.
Meant to be.
And I think from a mental standpoint and spiritual standpoint,
Well, you guys already have the main component to a relationship is communication.
Yeah.
You know what I
First
mean?
thing, and you
It's
started
crazy.
off right off the bat.
Yeah,
and
and that's
beautiful.
that's
You know what I mean?
beautiful.
Yeah.
Once you can like hold a conversation without having to be physical or being like
and I definitely as a
arm's
man,
length.
I've never done that.
like arm's length. That's you have to communicate. You have to
Yeah,
talk.
for
Or,
sure.
like, how are you gonna get to know that person? So
sure.
that's beautiful.
Yeah,
Yep.
dope.
That's super
So
dope.
now we're here.
Congratulations.
I know,
Baby Noah
congratulations.
Shane.
Boy, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
what's your
Yeah,
baby's
boy.
name?
Noah Shane.
Noah. Oh, that's so
With a
Noah
K-
Shane
with
is the whole name,
Noah,
right?
Noah Shane?
Noah Shane Hyman Williams. So he has my full name.
Ooh,
except
that's
for
smooth.
Yeah.
That's real
different.
smooth.
That sounds like he's
different
already
first name.
famous, man.
Did you come up with a name, or was it like two to
It
both
was
of you?
both of us, but it's Noah with a K in front of it for King. You know,
Yeah.
so a silent K in front of Noah.
So
Oh,
I want
that's
to
cute.
go back to what you just said a little while ago. You said that you went through, you isolate yourself,
Yeah.
and people need to understand that's almost what you did when you started your cannabis business. It's
Yeah.
like you got out from being a professional player to actually, $8, $9.
And back then, you couldn't speak about this shit.
Oh, of course.
You know, like family didn't know.
I wouldn't be asking this question if it wasn't legal, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Bro,
You know what I'm saying?
you couldn't be open about it. I wasn't on the gram showing nothing.
Yeah.
You didn't show money. You didn't show product. You didn't. I honestly was a ghost.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I didn't.
You had to.
I didn't show up to family functions for years. We
Yeah,
worked
but
through,
you see,
know?
nowadays, I think that should be directed as if it was that case.
Right.
Where you shouldn't have to, because
Yeah.
you know you're working.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
all that of showing what you're doing, if you're not, or if you are, whatever the case is, if you are putting in that work, obviously use the social media that you have, but still you don't need to be portraying, like, just do it.
You know,
what I mean?
people like maybe like just last year were like, "Oh, bro, man, like how's ball going?" Like till this literally until
Still
like
ask
till
you.
2018, because I didn't start really like using social media for like cannabis marketing
you
and
just
branding
started, yep.
to show people I'm in the industry. Literally up until 2018, people were like, "Oh, bro, like, man, how's Europe treating?" Like, people still thought I was playing ball.
Wow.
I'm like, dog, like,
I'm in
we
Venice Beach.
both live in California. Like, I just posted at the crib. Like,
Yeah.
I've been home for years, dog.
for years.
You know, but that's perfect. Like, that's what everyone perceived, that I was
Yeah.
still hooping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I
that's
think that's
exactly
where he's
what I
going to.
wanted.
Like, you isolated yourself,
I
but you
isolated
was
for
making
sure.
moves.
But you
was
were
working.
making moves. That's why
Yeah.
even now, right?
Yeah.
You whatever experience you went, you isolated yourself again,
Yep.
and this is why you found your wife. And
Yep.
when your kid, when it was announced to you, it
Yep.
was so overwhelming because the reason why I'm saying that is because I always say myself, I'm 47,
Yep.
and there's always room for improvement.
Always.
So
You can't
at the
never
end of the
stop
day,
improving.
a lot of people need to understand that you do not get from A to Z without improving yourself first.
Amen.
So you have to improve yourself, and then obviously, for some reason, and you are a good example of it, everything falls in place.
Yep.
Man, and that's a testament to
Finance
God
falls
for
in place,
sure.
business
Yeah.
falls in place, your wife fell in place, your
Yep.
kid fell in place,
Yep.
and it's a blessing, I think so. But
I was always chasing the money. And I just spoke about this in Vegas yesterday. You know, really, I was just chasing the money, and literally, it just engulfed me. You know what I mean? It wasn't like you can never make enough money.
Yeah.
Never.
Like,
It's gonna be there.
Ever. You
Never.
know, and I was just chasing a dollar, making more money, but like I didn't create any happiness or any like sense of peace for myself. And finally, I mean, I'm finally about to be 34 years old, and I can look back and be like, I can understand success isn't the dollar amount.
No.
You know, or like, oh, I'm gonna reach my dreams. I'm living my dream
Yeah,
right now. Like
of
the
course.
process and the journey right now is exactly what I was been praying for. I might not have 8 zeros in the bank right now, but I
Not
know
yet.
not yet.
Not yet.
But I've been living my dream and not
Yeah.
even knowing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, until that year of self-growth, I didn't even realize I was already doing and giving the blessings of what I was praying for.
Yeah.
Just because I wasn't driving the Lambo and just because I wasn't on the private jet to freaking Maldives
Yeah.
doesn't mean I wasn't successful. And that's another thing we're talking about social media.
Right.
I'm seeing, you know,
Yeah.
I love looking at dope cribs. By the
Yeah.
way, you post shit, I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah, I need that.
I need that crib, bro.
I need that.
That's it. Like I don't want nothing else.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like stop posting dope ass cribs. And
Yeah.
Like, I would just unfollow you.
Stop.
I even called her. I was like, yo, so you can help me find a rental?
Yeah.
I need a fucking.
I need
Yeah.
one of those.
He's like, well, how much did those cost? The one you just
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
that one.
To me, that's just inspiration.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
You know, I spent most of my money. I would have to say, like, I made a decent amount of money over the years, and I didn't use it correctly. You know, just trying to be whatever I was trying to be. You know, buying shit.
Yeah.
I spent a lot of it on traveling.
Yeah.
And I can't take that away. I spent a lot on traveling, and I think that was the best thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like
Experience.
experience.
Yeah,
you know?
for sure.
I should have been investing in real estate. I should have been doing a lot of things.
But you're young.
It was all experience.
You're young though. You're
Yeah.
young, and whatever you were doing, it kind of like adapt to whatever was
Bro, it
working.
just taught me how to really, really respect money.
Yeah.
Respect it, understand it, cherish it. You know, really, really understand how to use it. You know,
And I
it's not
think
phone
and then
coupons, you know what
my
I mean?
pops always says is don't be afraid to spend it.
Don't be afraid.
Because if you have the mindset to always want to make it and be in business and want to work your ass off,
Yeah.
you shouldn't be afraid to spend
No,
it.
not
Because
at
then
all.
you learn those life lessons.
You know those people that
went
say,
through.
"Okay, I came up on 50,000. Now I'm not gonna spend shit. I'm just gonna put it in the bank." You know, it's
like
like,
you
what are you
gotta put
doing?
your money
What,
to
what
work,
are you
too.
doing?
Yeah.
You know,
and
No,
also,
Especially if you own a business, like he always tells us this too. He always says, scared money makes no money.
no money.
Yeah.
But it's
real
not.
shit.
I don't think it's the same. It's the same concept as, okay, scared money makes no money. I just made 50,000.
let's blow it.
Let me go buy a
Yeah,
car.
but obviously, be
Obviously, you know what I
responsible.
mean.
Don't be
Like,
stupid.
still,
You know what I'm
still
saying?
cherish that. Still cherish what you made. Enjoy it. Be happy about it. Dope. Great.
I call it seasonal.
Yeah, and then
It's
put,
like, do you
put
want to
some
be
of that
a
money away.
seasonal
You know
rich
what I mean?
person, or
Hey,
you
your
want to be
boy-
an
your
all
boy caught me
year?
on my way out.
Well, I know.
He was on one. He did go on a trip with me. You know what I mean?
No, I heard.
Fucking
I wasn't
asshole.
invited by the way. as well, but
Fucking asshole, man. That's what I call myself.
it's
back
all
then.
good. It's all good.
You know, we gotta do it again for sure.
Oh yeah, we gotta take the whole fam this time.
Yeah,
There's people that always ask us, and obviously, if people don't know, in our first intro will show that we work together as a family.
Yeah.
How's it working with your best friend?
Man,
As a friend like Django.
so like
that's,
that's another thing. Like having these relationships like you guys, I don't really consider it friendships.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? When they're called relationships, it's because you're creating a bond. You know. But working with one of my best friends, man, that's different. You know, we've known each other since we were 18.
Wow.
You know, just like-minded. You
Yeah.
know, and there's a group of us, but I've done like literally everything with him. You know what I mean?
yeah, since I've met you, Django's been there.
Dog, like
24/7.
Shout out Django.
Everything. Shout out
Sure.
Django.
Shout out Django. I don't know who you are,
hey.
but
Yeah.
You will see him.
But man, it's definitely like we definitely bring more value together than if we were by ourselves.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think we both respect that about each other. I mean, we both have like this common, you know, attribute about us, you know, but then he does things that I can't do and vice versa.
yeah, you guys have strength and weaknesses,
and
but
I
to
think
combined, you know.
Everyone needs partnerships.
Yeah, for
Of
sure.
course.
I see you, you know,
Yeah.
we're partners. I mean, I see you guys as a family partnership. There's no such thing as doing anything on your own.
You
And
can't do everything on your own. You
And
cannot.
I
It's
ask
hard.
because there's a misconception in that.
There is a
You know,
misconception.
everybody thinks that, I got to grind on my own. I got to start from the bottom, and I'm doing it.
you
Like,
need help.
Yeah,
You need help.
and then you need to build those relationships.
I think
That's
too,
why, like, say friendship. They're general relationships
Yeah.
with people
but
that
I
you have.
but I think too, it again depends on the industry that you're in, and also the level that you want to take it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think for us, we have the construction, and then I come in the real estate, and then I have my partner, Stephanie, that comes in.
Shout out Stephanie.
Shout out to Steph. But that she comes in, but we want to build something that's like way bigger than us.
Right.
You know what I mean? So we do need help, because he may be thinking about something that I didn't think about yet.
Right.
Or he may be thinking about an idea that I haven't brought to light yet. Or he brought an idea and I'm like, oh, I have a solution to that.
Right.
There's so many different minds that but again, and we were just talking about this too, that I maybe you guys, you and your best friend work really well together because you guys have an ultimate purpose at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And our purpose is really just taking care of our families.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
For sure. That's definitely
That's
ours.
all us.
That's
too.
ours.
You know, we've both been in situations that, have been dark where we've had to take care of our
And that's
of our
normal.
loved ones,
Yeah.
at a young age.
Yeah.
Usually, I didn't think I was gonna have to take care of my mom until I was way older, right?
Yeah.
You don't think about it, and as when you're we're both only children too.
Yeah.
So it's like my mom told me, she's like, you're gonna take care of me one day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I didn't know
Yeah.
when that was coming, and same for him. His parents, he's the only child, so it's like it was just a sense of responsibility that we got at a very young age. And we really had the same goals, is just really like, creating a different lifestyle for our families and being able to take care of them, keep them comfortable.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, we definitely see eye to eye, and even if we don't, we hold each other accountable. And I don't think we've ever argued before.
Really?
You know what I mean? You can tell me.
Oh, we argue all the fucking
Oh,
time.
And
yeah.
and maybe
That's why I asked,
I
because
guess-
we go at it, yo.
Yeah.
Like,
I think we
Yeah.
had conversations that were heated. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, I mean, tell me when I'm wrong. You know what I mean? Because I want to know.
straight up.
Yeah.
That's what we do.
And
so,
if I'm out of line or I'm not thinking.
I don't never
right,
think I've ever heard Django yell at all.
No.
Like, even like talk loud.
He
whatsoever.
gets
Yeah,
crazy
a-
when he's crazy.
really-
You know what I mean?
He gets crazy.
he gets crazy when he's crazy.
And it's crazy because like he's the one that comes up with solutions, and I'm the first one like, what the fuck? And I'm the calm one, you know.
Yeah,
So
right.
it's a good partnership, man. And like I said, joining Viola has allowed us to really push our dreams in the cannabis space. Shout out to Al and to everyone there, and Samir and the whole team. They've given us the freedom and the ability to really scale something that we've been doing for so long. You know what I mean?
Nice.
And taking in and allowing us to be flexible and trusting our expertise in what we're doing, because it's a whole nother level now, and so I never thought I'd be going into other states and doing this business.
Yeah, he's flying back and forth.
Man, crazy. When we launched Detroit, and we got other states coming on board, so it's
I was gonna say, what's coming up for Viola, like 2020? What is your guys' what is your plan, or what are you guys doing?
Yeah, so California is just something we're just trying to stabilize. In the cannabis space, like if you're not a brand in California, you're nobody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we're just playing the game slow in California. A lot of people are struggling to operate here because of how the regulations set up, the taxes. The black market's still here, so we're just trying to survive here, which we're doing a good job at, and just building the brand here so we can go other places and be recognized. There's not too many brands out there that are
Competing.
Straight up. Especially like there's not a lot of brands that are in multiple states. Like we consider ourselves a legacy brand, and we've had our hurdles, but we feel like we can take over the country.
Yep. Nice.
That's dope.
And impact. At the end of the day,
Yeah.
we want to educate, we want to impact, and we're a medicinal company at first, and then we're a lifestyle brand, and you gotta have both, because the lifestyle also gives you a platform to educate and influence as well.
Yeah. I was going through. I'm not really into Instagram. I just push that bubble and I just let it run.
He's not into Instagram, but I watch his videos.
I know,
all
right?
day.
Yeah.
This guy,
Like, yo, waking up at, he does it like at 5:30 in the morning too.
Yeah,
Like,
did I mention E_ been on top?
Yeah,
but what I seen you on talking in Vegas. You were in Vegas, so tell us something about that.
Man, my boy, also in the real estate space, like you guys, and he held the seminar. It's his personal seminar. He does. He's been doing it for a couple years now. He invited me out. Thought my story would be impactful for his group of members.
Nice.
I was honored. Like I'm honored to be here, and never spoke, in a crowd before. I haven't done it since college. But I've been praying for that. I've been praying just for a platform to just influence a couple of people, because I really didn't have the guidance.
I don't think you're gonna influence a couple of people. I think you influence a lot of people.
Yeah,
Your
a lot of
story,
people.
it's that's why we decided to have you as a guest of our first time, because I know you don't like to be called entrepreneur, but you are. You came from zero. You're humble. You have your family now, so that's why that caught my attention when you did that, because I think you could help a lot of people.
No, I appreciate that.
No,
Really,
that-
I've been praying for uncomfortable situations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like really
Yeah.
stepping out of my comfort zone. It was my third time he's invited me to speak. He asked me to come
wow.
to Dallas. I wasn't capable of it. He asked me to speak at Cal Poly Pomona, maybe I think the end of last year. I didn't make it out. I was in Detroit. And then he was like, bro, honestly, like, just come out. Stop overthinking this shit.
Yeah.
You know,
Just do it.
You know, so having that kind of circle to motivate you and just kind of take you out of your comfort zone.
And that was the goal for all of us too. Get in the comfort zone.
Yeah.
Get feel weird. You know, have those little butterflies in you a lot. So then you master those situations.
Yeah.
You know.
The number one thing to me is like really being able to speak on platforms like this to show people you don't have to be a celebrity to have influence.
No.
Yeah.
You don't have to be.
We feel the same way.
From big
No.
Fortune 500 companies.
Well, you know, I'm famous a little bit, but I mean, I
There
said
it
I'll
goes.
do it.
Look, there you
There
go.
it goes.
I only have like 3,000 followers,
go.
Hey.
real followers.
There it is.
You know, but you don't
Yeah.
have to have, you don't have to have 1 million followers to make an impact. You know, it could be just, I consider us regular people.
Yeah.
And
We are.
we have regular people with real stories.
Yep.
Yeah.
With real grinds.
Very successful
you know.
too.
Yeah.
So I think that really speaks volume.
Yeah.
You know, and I
Yeah.
think people need to see that to really be inspired, because like the Gary V's and the Tony Robbins, they only go so far for the person who's really trying to start somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They go far for me because, we're all already at a certain pace.
At a
You know what I
level,
mean?
yeah.
Where
But
we
people-
understand at that point.
but they're already out of touch. Like
yeah.
Yeah.
someone from the street is already out of touch with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
So-
just want to bring in also some realness and some being
have to.
realistic with
You have to.
with
Yeah.
what's
To not make them feel like only those Gary V's
Yeah.
or those Tony
Yeah.
Robbins can do that.
100%.
And make them
Yeah.
feel like, yo, you did it. You
Yeah.
did it at a standpoint. And I think we were talking earlier, at least in the cannabis industry, it goes the same thing on social media, the way it looks like to get into that
Oh, man.
industry.
Yeah.
You know, and we were just breaking it down saying that
People just think I smell. I just sell weed.
right? Right?
You know?
And then they think you need a lot of money to get into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I mean, it depends on what scale you're trying to get into. And I know most people that ask me don't. Like, as soon as I tell you how much money it takes to get in, they're like, "Oh, okay, well, never mind."
That's cool.
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, so you don't want to be in the
can, can I get a
You
dollar?
just want to be an overnight. You want to be an overnight millionaire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, see, that's
know?
my point. That's why I think people need to understand that it's not just saying, "Hey, how much do I need to get in there?"
Yeah.
Or how much do I need to make a
wrong
construction company like you have?
Right.
You know, people need to get educated. Our people need to get educated and understanding that it's loyalty, humbleness, dedication, and consistency.
Man,
I
resilience.
think.
But also
resilience,
being like hungry and also believing in yourself,
Yep.
because when you believe in yourself, you're like you said, you put yourself in situations where you will sacrifice
Yep.
because you're betting on you.
Yeah, and you're gonna lose.
Yeah, you're gonna lose
All the time.
And with any business that you start, it's not gonna be overnight. You know what I mean? And I feel like a lot of people, because they see the lifestyle on social media, they
Yep.
think it's
Yep.
an overnight thing, and it's not.
Nope.
You know what I mean? It is a lot of time, and a year. My first year,
Yeah.
sold one house.
Right.
That's it.
Right. Oh, real shit.
It was like,
I believe it.
we're all waiting for more. Like, no, that was
No,
it.
that was it.
Yeah.
And I started
Yeah.
working. I went back to my banking institution that I was working with, and then I was still doing like real estate part time, but still believing that this is what this is where I wanted to be, and
Right.
still hustling that on the side.
Yeah.
Right.
And then got to a point where I'm at now. You know what I mean? So I feel like,
How many years was that?
yeah, it's already been what, 4?
Or going to your 5.
Going on
Around
5.
there,
Yeah.
See, consistency.
It's just being,
Consistency.
but being consistent, believing in yourself, and also being hungry and knowing the fact that I know this is not going to be overnight, but once you pick up that consistency, just keep going.
And I know it sounds so basic, but at the same time, surround yourself with people that are thinking like
Absolutely.
It is,
Absolutely.
that
Because
is so
our great
important.
grandma, Grandma
Absolutely.
Stoyla, his grandma always told us, if you hang around shit, you're gonna
Shit's
get
gonna
some
stick
shit
on you.
No, I mean,
You know?
you couldn't have said it better.
Yeah.
You know, like I got blessed by meeting you guys. She called me into now, which is one of my best friends. You know, Reggie. Sky
Oh,
Blue, shout
Oh,
out Reg.
Reggie.
What up, Reggie?
Shout out Sky Blue, man.
That's like my little bro. I mean, we've come a long way. I would say, like in an emotional relationship, of building together. You know,
Yeah, for sure.
And I wouldn't have met him if it wasn't for your sis. You know, so it all comes full circle, and it really is who you put around yourself.
Yeah.
Definitely.
You know, and just supporting certain people without having any type of motive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No return.
No return is
No
cool,
returns.
man.
Yeah.
Like I
Just
said,
having
loyalty.
having genuine relationships,
Yep.
and I think too, coming from like a family like mine, or just having people around you that are like family, you can always tell when someone's intentions aren't 100% pure.
100%.
You know what I mean? Because we know when somebody's not genuine.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
you
saying?
sniff
Like,
it out real quick.
right. But we let that shit flow. But it's alright. It's alright. It's
It's all
alright.
good.
Let's see what you're about to bring.
Yeah.
Let me see a little
Yeah,
shine.
yeah.
I
So-
might be able to eat off that.
Right. So
If you want to play motive, we can play
Yeah.
motive.
Hey, what's up, man?
Now we in the game.
yeah.
Tap in.
So
Tap in. I'm
Tap in.
outside. You know what I'm saying?
Said it
Eating
so
the
nonchalant,
stuff,
too.
and
I'm
He
outside.
sounded gangster when he said that too. Like, yo, I'm
outside.
tapped in.
That's,
You
you
got a
know
little-
what I'm saying? Give you that
Yeah.
voice and that YG voice. You know?
No, but that is true. And I think having even friends or even relationships, I think, and even family, honestly, some family, may not have the same visions or support as you do. And sometimes if that doesn't work out, it's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay to
Yeah,
distance
for sure.
yourself if you really believe in what you're doing, and having the right people around you to support you. And like you said, you're still allowed to do everything that you're doing because of your baby mama that you have, your wife,
Yeah.
that
Bless
she
you.
supports everything that you're doing.
100%.
And
We're actually
that's
working on some
huge.
things together right now.
Oh, that's
Oh,
good. Let us
yeah.
know. Let us know.
Yeah, for sure.
Tune us in.
It's gonna be
I
dope.
want to know, what is it?
So we're already thinking about a baby brand.
Wow.
She's
Like clothing.
yeah. I mean, I
Nice.
have my own style, but she's like fashionista.
No, she
Yeah.
gets down, bro.
She
I
gets
seen
down,
her work. She
you
gets
know?
down.
So that's something that's like in the works.
Wow. That's
That's
dope.
dope.
That's super dope.
That's cute.
She's working on something that she doesn't want me to speak about yet, but it's definitely on like a platform like this.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, we're really just trying to take in ownership, of
Yeah,
that's the
ourselves,
key.
And keep it in the family. That's
keep
it in
the
the
family right there. You know what I mean?
create some ownership for ourselves, our own platforms where we can hold each other accountable.
Mm-hmm.
And if the passion project turns into something more, than that's the goal.
Yeah.
But
And I like that. The
we
passion
can't,
project.
We can't blame no one by ourselves if it doesn't.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's up to us.
It's
It's up to us
100%.
how much money we're gonna make, how far we got to take it, and
how hard you want to go.
100%.
Oh, you wanna go.
So we're excited. We're excited on that.
Congratulations.
And it just goes back to just putting good people around yourself.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
100%.
Yo, what I gotta say was, your story is very,
Inspiring.
true. Yep.
And
It's,
true, yep.
I appreciate
it's
that.
very
guys.
true.
Thank you.
I like it. I come from the bottom too. So, and you are the type of people we want to have on our show.
No,
So people could actually understand again the process. I keep repeating that because
course.
people need to know that. And bro, blessings to you and your family, your boy.
Appreciate it.
Congratulations,
Definitely.
man.
Family.
Guys, thank
You know what
you.
I'm saying?
Thank you for coming, man.
Oh,
Thank you
Yeah.
for
man.
coming.
Yeah, thank
Seriously.
you.
I know you're busy,
This
man.
is like,
I
this
know.
is like hanging
You
out.
literally, yeah, definitely.
No,
Hell
but
yeah.
again, you make time for the people you want to make time for.
Yep.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
mean, that's real shit. I'm sure people are like, man, this fool just said he was busy. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Busy, dude.
I'm busy.
But yeah, I mean, it's okay. Like back to like the people you surround yourself with. I mean, I trimmed a lot of fat in my life.
Yeah.
You know what I
Nice.
mean? To like really just be around the people I want to be around.
Yeah.
Whether that hurt some people or hurt myself, you really have to like do that it's okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's okay not to spend time with people that, really, aren't impactful in your life.
Yep.
And it doesn't have to be financial,
Yeah.
So I've definitely done that over the last years, just really just trimming and just small circle, super small circle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes we have to do that.
So you guys are definitely a part of that.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Appreciate
And you're a
that.
part of ours, man. Straight
appreciate
up.
that.
Straight up.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Wanna
Well,
let us
again,
out?
thank you for coming. And
Appreciate you.
anybody else got something to say?
No,
No,
good.
we're good.
Solid.
Thank you. We're gonna have to do it again because there's a lot
Oh,
more.
we should
in
go ahead and do a
depth.
part two.
Yeah.
Part
I
two
know.
for
We're
real.
gonna
We
do
didn't
part
cover
two.
a lot.
Yeah,
We didn't cover.
we got
I
a
wanted
part
to get
two.
into more stuff that I know about, but
So you hit me. I'm ready
Yeah,
for part
definitely.
two.
let's do that. Well, all right,
I'm a
cool.
full bang in, and it's like, I might have to go home.
He
and
wants
do
to
some
go.
work.
All right, cool.
All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in. We're going to have our video up with Dustin. If you guys have any questions, we most likely going to have a part 2.
Yeah.
Dope.
So let us know.
Yep.
Appreciate y'all.
Alrighty.
We're out.
Bless.
Nice.
How was that fucking hour? Fuck my earrings.
Honestly, I lose track of time with this kind of shit.
I feel it.
Us too. That's what we gotta